Hey y'all, it's Ryan again with E-Riders. Today I'm going to show you how to replace your headlight for your E-Rider scooter. Now there's a number of different reasons why we might need to do this. Either the headlight has sustained damage in some way, it's possible that the display isn't showing your miles per hour anymore, maybe the front headlight isn't working, or it's even possible that the headlight itself just isn't turning on for whatever reason. So the good news is, with everything else on this bike, or just like everything else on this bike, it's an easy fix. It takes 5-10 minutes to replace. We're only going to need 3 tools to get the job done: a 10mm socket, we've got a Phillips head screwdriver, and then we've got a pair of wire cutters, and then we have our replacement headlight. So why don't we go ahead and open it up, and I'll walk you through the process and we'll get you back on the road. All right, so first things first, let's go ahead and remove the plastic spiral casing that's protecting the wires. Now, we're only going to remove the spiral casing that's on the left side of the handlebars if you're sitting on the bike looking out the front, the side with your phone holder. We're going to remove the spiral casing on this side. We're not going to mess with the spiral casing. We don't need to remove it on the right side where the throttle is, just because we're not messing with any of the wires that are on that side. So we'll go ahead and take this spiral casing off. We're going to take it all the way off, all the way down to the bottom here. And then that way, when we open up the floorboard, we'll be able to remove the headlight. We'll easily be able to trace the wires to the correct connections, and then we'll be able to start the process. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and remove these nuts so that we can open up this metal casing. We'll go ahead and open that up, and then we'll get to the wires underneath. Okay, now that we have the wires exposed, we'll go ahead and trace the wires that we have from the headlight. That way we can go ahead and swap the connections out. The wire cutters that we have will be used to cut these zip ties. So some bikes have them, some bikes don't, underneath the metal casing to keep the wires kind of clumped together. We'll just go ahead and, obviously being very careful not to cut the wires to the scooter itself, we'll remove this zip tie so that we can easily work. Okay, so I have traced my wires to these 3 connections here. Now, the connections, some of the scooters will have different colored wires than what you see here. That's why it's important when you do this to follow the cord down to the connections underneath the floorboard. That way you can be sure that you're replacing the headlight and using the correct connectors to do so. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and swap these connectors out. That way we can remove the old headlight and get the new headlight installed. Okay, so just to show you how I do it, now this is how it's easiest for me, but you guys might want to do it your own way. What I find to be easiest is I'll connect the new wires to my new headlight on the outside here instead of running in underneath. And the reason I do that is because I still need to pull these old wires through this hole, and it can get a little bit tight, a little bit too difficult to pull them out if you have the new wires already put in there. So as a placeholder, I went ahead and connected them on the outside. I'll pull these old ones out, and then I'll disconnect these and push them through. Okay, old wires have been pulled out. The new wires have been put in through the hole there and are connected, and so now we're ready to go. All we have to do is to get our screwdriver, unscrew the headlight from the handlebars, and screw the new headlight on. All right, just like that, our spiral casing's back on and we're ready to go. I'll get you a close-up so you can see that the light's working, and I'll point out a couple different spots where you just want to keep in mind on how you're going to replace that spiral casing, especially with the brake line. So I'll bring you in real close. Okay, so as we can see, the headlight has been connected. It's on and working. I'll turn the headlight on so you can see that. And then I'll go ahead and turn that off. And then the last thing I wanted to point out is for the spiral casing, just be sure that basically where this crossbar meets the casing, that you're going to want to go ahead and leave this brake line exposed. That way you can easily turn your wheel and there's no issues there. But other than that, it's pretty straightforward on the spiral casing. You can kind of see how I did it. And yeah, y'all are ready to get back on the road and good to go. All right, so that's everything you need to know for replacing your headlight for your e-rider scooter. I hope this information was helpful for you guys, and we hope to see you out on the road again real soon. Thanks for watching.